was a dark and stormy night. Sorry, I've always wanted to write that, but it really was a dark and stormy night. Confession, this is not coffee or any yummy hot beverage because it's way too hot for that, but this does have caffeine. This is The Visitor, the second in the Animorphs series by K.A. Applegate. I used to be completely obsessed with this series. It's all about 5 teenagers, plus one kinda teenage-friendly alien. So basically 6 teenagers, who fight off an alien invasion on Earth. All while the human teenagers keep their grades up in school. The alien invasion takes the form of the Yeerks, who, as parasites crawl in through a host's ear, wraps themselves around the host's brain. The Yeerk takes over complete control pretty quickly. The Yeerks have already taken over the Herkpajar and the Taxxons, which are 2 other alien races, and the Andalites fight back, but more on them later. For some reason, the Yeerks are being kind of slow to enslave us, and rather than just swooping in and taking over in one fell swoop, they're actually slow enough that they can be held at bay by 6 teenagers, which I'm not entirely sure how that works. Maybe there's an explanation that I've forgotten in one of the other books. It has been a while since I've read these. Then again, if they could just take over so easily, then there wouldn't be any kind of story. So, the Andalites that I mentioned like maybe 15 seconds ago, they have been fighting the Yeerks from the beginning. Unfortunately, the ships that the Andalites sent to protect the Earth were wiped out, but not before this one Andalite warrior crash-landed on Earth, right in the middle of an abandoned construction site that 5 teenagers were using as a shortcut. And that is where the first book picks up. Enter Elfangor, who doesn't live very long, but you know, just long enough. Elfangor tells the 5 teenagers all about, hey, you've got an alien invasion, and gives them the option to use a bit of Andalite technology to fight back. This technology is something that will allow them to change or morph into any animal that they can get their hands on and hence acquire the DNA of. That's where Animorphs came from. Animal morph animal. Yeah. Moral of the story: don't take a shortcut through an abandoned construction site unless you want to have the weight of saving humanity laid on your shoulders. Back to this book. What is this particular book about? Well, the teenagers have already determined that their vice principal has been infected, as though he wasn't scary enough already, and it's decided that one of them needs to infiltrate the vice principal's house to try to gather info. They do this by morphing into the cat that belongs to the vice principal's daughter. So first they have shenanigans with figuring out how to acquire the cat's DNA in the first place. And then there's the whole challenge of how to not be suspicious. Bad enough breaking into the vice principal's house on the best of times, but when he's also controlled by an evil parasite that wants you dead. And now I have to share a description of what it's like to be a cat, because it's just too awesome. And by the way, one of the really cool things about this is they have some of the animal instincts going on when they morph. And I did actually learn some about animals from reading these. It's really cool. You know those old cowboy movies with Clint Eastwood? He's a gunslinger and he walks into the saloon and everyone kind of gets out of his way. And how he's not really looking for trouble, but you better not make him mad. It's like that. It's like I'm Clint Eastwood. Basically, cats are Clint Eastwood. Given my previous obsession with the series, I definitely still have a certain fondness for them. I found myself wishing that I hadn't donated all of them, with the exception of one, to the library, because I kind of want to go pick up more of them right now without having to go to the library to pick one up. This is why I shouldn't ever get rid of books. I think my favorite thing about the books are the characters. They are lovable, believable, they have their strengths and weaknesses, they have flaws and characteristics that just make them shine. The only thing I can really complain about in revisiting this is that, to start with, there's too much telling and not enough showing of introducing the characters, but once they get past that, there isn't anything for me to really complain about. I recommend this if you're looking for a sci-fi book that is geared towards teens or kids. Of course, adults can also enjoy it. I hope you liked this. If you did, hit subscribe if you want to come back and hear me talk about books again while drinking something that may or may not be coffee. It's usually coffee, usually. Oh, and one really awesome thing about this is if you flip down the side here, you get to see one of the characters morph. It's pretty cool. Oh my gosh. And of course that had to be here and now and not when I was having a burping contest with my boyfriend. Damn it.